While the World Health Organization says it is too early to call outbreak of COVID-19 a pandemic, it says the world should be in a phase of preparedness. WHO Director General Mr. Tedros Ghebreyesus says more outbreaks in South Korea, Italy and Iran are worrisome, even though the mortality rate from infections is not yet known. Here's Simon Pusey with more international news and around the world in 5.
Hello and welcome to the Channel studio here in London for your 5-minute news update from around the world. Fears are growing that the coronavirus outbreak could become a pandemic as new cases spread around the world. Most infections are in China, but other countries including South Korea, Italy and Iran are battling to contain the virus. About 77,000 people have been infected in China and nearly 2,600 have died. More than 1,200 cases have been confirmed in 26 other countries and there have been more than 20 deaths. Italy is the latest country to battle the spread of the disease, with at least 7 reported deaths. Drone footage over the entrance to one of the so-called red zone small towns in the north of the country showed cars lined up waiting to be checked by police. It's after Austria suspended train services over the Alps to Italy for about 4 hours late on Sunday due to fears that some passengers on board may have become infected. Despite this, the European Commission says it is not considering suspending travel within the border-free Shenzhen area. The former movie producer Harvey Weinstein has been found guilty of 2 counts in his sexual assault trial. He has been convicted on lesser charges of third-degree rape and a criminal sexual act in the first degree. But the film producer has been acquitted of the most serious charges against him, of predatory sexual assault and first-degree rape. More than 80 women, including famous actresses, have accused him of sexual misconduct stretching back decades. He still faces charges in Los Angeles of rape and sexual assault of 2 women in 2013. US President Donald Trump has addressed a massive public rally with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his first official visit to the country.
And President Donald Trump shaking hands, a warm hug, symbolizing the great Indo-American friendship.
Both world leaders were given heroes' welcomes as they were announced to the capacity Motera Stadium in Gujarat. The national anthems were then played before Mr. Trump took to the podium, and despite the occasional mispronunciation
from Sachin Tendulkar,
his speech was generally well received. His visit will focus on deepening ties between the world's 2 largest democracies.
And I am pleased to announce that tomorrow our representatives will sign deals to sell over $3 billion in the absolute finest state-of-the-art military helicopters and other equipment to the Indian Armed Forces.
The Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad has submitted his resignation to the King. The 94-year-old's shock resignation comes amid rumours that he may form a new coalition without his designated successor, Anwar Ibrahim. The world's oldest Prime Minister came into power in 2018. In a surprise victory, he ousted then Prime Minister Najib Razak, who has been linked to a multi-billion-dollar scandal involving a government fund. It is not clear who will be the next Prime Minister or if new elections will be called. Togo's President Faure Gnassingbé has won re-election according to preliminary results from the Electoral Commission. However, opposition leader Agbe Kodjo has accused the authorities of widespread fraud. The president's office is quoted as denying the accusation. The Electoral Commission said that Mr. Gnassingbé had received 72% of the vote, compared with about 18% for Mr. Kodjo. The final results are expected to be announced by the Supreme Court this week. A magistrate has temporarily adjourned the court case of Lesotho's Prime Minister Thomas Thabane, whom prosecutors want to put on trial for the murder of his ex-wife. Mr. Thabane is accused of murdering Lipolelo Thabane 2 days before he became Prime Minister in 2017. At the time, he described the killing as senseless. He appeared in court in the capital along with his wife, Maisea Thabane, who has been charged with Lipolelo's murder. His lawyer wants the case to be postponed so that he can approach the Constitutional Court for a ruling on whether a sitting Prime Minister can stand trial. A huge sandstorm from the Sahara has shrouded Spain's Canary Islands, disrupting travel plans for tourists flying in and out. At least 19 flights to Gran Canaria were diverted over the weekend. Airport operator Aena cancelled, suspended or diverted all flights to and from the islands at the weekend, citing low visibility. Strong winds have carried a dense cloud of sand from the Sahara Desert, some 500 kilometres across the Atlantic Ocean. And finally, 800 hungry Krakow residents have taken part in the country's annual donut eating competition. The speed eating contest is a yearly tradition in Poland, coinciding with the traditional Christian feast before the Lenten period, similar to Shrove Tuesday. The competition was won by the two-time winner, Moritz Piotrowski, who managed to eat 8 donuts in the allotted 5 minutes. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the studios in Nigeria.
And that's a lot of donuts. Well, let's bring you some sports news now. Here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Thank you so much, Millicent. Current African Taekwondo champion Nwosu and Nigeria Taekwondo Open gold medalist Ajayi have lost out in their quest to secure Olympic tickets at the just concluded African qualification tournament for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. The pair, who lost out in the crucial semi-finals showdown against Niger Republic and Mali, needed to win the semi-finals to ensure a place at the Summer Olympic event. In the English Premier League leaders Liverpool FC continued their winning streak by beating West Ham United 3-2 in the Monday's game played at Anfield. Of course, with that victory, Liverpool continued to march on to the Premier League title. They've also been able to equal Manchester City's consecutive wins, the record of 18. American teenage sensation Coco Gauff made her top 50 debut in the updated WTA rankings released today, becoming the first 15-year-old in 15 years to achieve that feat. Gauff, who continued her dramatic rise by reaching the 4th round on her Australian Open debut before losing to eventual champion Sofia Kenin, emulates Bulgarian Cecil Karatincheva, who made the top 50 at the same age in August of 2005. That's sports news. Millicent, is back to you for the wrap.
Thank you, AY. And the main news again. Opposition People's Democratic Party today said it is making moves to ask Supreme Court to review its judgment on the presidential elections. But the ruling All Progressives Congress dismissed the PDP's quest as a joke and sarcastically asked the party to engage in rice farming as a way out of its joblessness. Plus, we told you the World Health Organization today warned of a possible global coronavirus pandemic, saying the world should do more to prepare for it. That's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. Have a good night.